Thank you for joining me today in this architecture overview video demonstration of Xtent, our end-to-end publication solution. Xtent gives you the tools to manage any type of publication in a collaborative environment from anywhere in the world. At its core, Xtent is a web-enabled system, which means that it includes a JBoss web and application server, and users who want to work with Xtent simply browse to the server. All they need is a web browser and internet connection, and they can get access to the system with either Mac or PC. Before users can log on, they're assigned a profile, and this profile determines which assets they can look at and which tasks they can perform. One of the key advantages of the system is that it includes a built-in digital asset management system. The DAM uses Microsoft SQL Server as its database and can store data both on local drives of Xtent or on a SAN or NAS system. It includes a flexible search engine, so users can browse through a library of thousands of images, thousands of PDF-based ads, and or sort through text very easily to find exactly the content that they need. This asset management system allows you to send images, advertisements, text, and other types of data to Xtent, where all this data will be stored in what we call catalogs. Before actually storing the data, we made sure that for images, we retrieve the metadata so that you can search, for instance, on keywords, or that for ads, we pick up metadata that might have been embedded using XMP, such as the name of an advertiser. Depending on the number of ads or images you want to send to the system, this input routine can be tailored and load balanced across multiple platforms. We have a plugin for editors who want to work on text using InCopy, and there's a plugin for Adobe InDesign for users who want to create layouts, again available for both Mac and PC. However, when it comes to copy editing, we offer an alternative next to the use of InCopy, and that is the built-in editor of our Java client. The editor is not only used to edit text, it can be used to create new articles, edit text from imported articles, for example from Microsoft Word, and has what we call a job bag to link the related images with these articles. The key factor of this editor is that text is always stored as XML data, because we believe that the choice of XML as the internal file format in Xtent makes it easier to repurpose content afterward and offer you a solution that is really vendor and application independent. Another powerful feature of Xtent is that it contains a built-in flat plan module, which allows you to create a plan of what you wish to publish, identifies specific pages and what they'll be used for, and calculates real-time percentages of the mix of ads versus editorial content. You can also inherit previous editions and pages, allowing you to create a plan in a matter of minutes. Xtent can also import data from external systems into the flat plan module, which is then used to define the publication. The flat plan module is also a place where users can really collaborate on the progress of a publication. They can see real-time views of pages, they can add notes and change statuses, generate up-to-date reports on assignments and statuses, and access all the content in one environment. Once a publication is being worked on, users might want to see soft proofs of the pages, or they'll want to check how text flows from one page to another. The processing of all of that data is done on what we call the PageFit server. This is essentially InDesign running in the background and doing such things as creating last-minute previews without going back to the designer. Once again, we can, depending on the load of the system, configure it so that it uses multiple PageFit systems and distributes all of the tasks that need to be done across those systems. The PageFit server is not just limited to creating soft proofs. It also does the job of generating the print-ready PDFs, and the system contains a built-in color management and pre-flight engine to make sure that the PDF that is sent to the printer actually prints and processes without any worries. While all of this is going on and people are working on the content and pages, Xtent is keeping track of all of the statuses. Each asset can be assigned a status, allowing users to see if images are checked out, possible articles that require approval, and the status of pages. At the same time, the system is also keeping track of all of the versions of this content, allowing you to backtrack. For example, an article, which changes were made and by which user at which time. These statuses can also be tied to automation. For example, when an article is complete, we can push it to a WordPress or Drupal blog. As soon as the page is finished, it can automatically generate the PDF or send an email or internal Xtent message to certain people, informing them that the page is available. Or it might export the articles as XML files because you want to repurpose the content for a web content management system. Users can also generate reports at the end of a publication, for example, a bill of materials which contains a list of content that was used. And with our Xtent Premium add-on, you can have access to easy-to-use tools to repurpose your content to create rich media for mobile and tablet devices. As you can see, we have a very powerful system, but the best way to view it is by getting a live look at the product. So feel free to browse through our other videos to see in-depth views of the system functionality. And thank you for joining me today in this video presentation.